For the fledgling Biden campaign, there's actually some good news and some not so good news. Well, let's start with the good news. All right. Biden is now officially leading in a swing state. It's true, for the first time in months, Biden has taken the lead in the polling aggregate in a battleground state. The bad news, that state is Virginia. A state Biden won by double digits in 2020, a state that hasn't voted Republican in a presidential race in 20 years is now officially a swing state. Gang, this is getting real. Virginia is now in play. And the last time Virginia was in play for a Republican candidate was in 2016. And how did that turn out for Hillary? It's being widely reported that Trump and Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin met last week to discuss strategies for Trump's win in the state. And Governor Youngkin isn't just talk, he's a doer. On June 7th, he signed an executive order requiring voter list maintenance, which is a giant step in eliminating Biden's ability to cheat in the election. It's basically going to force officials to remove deceased Americans from the voter rolls and even illegal immigrants if they're on there. Today, I've got business expert, entrepreneur, and Turley Talk sponsor Alex Alberon here to chat about the changing of the tides in this historically blue state. Alex helps business owners and other entrepreneurs grow their businesses in the parallel economy, and he's giving you the chance to learn some of his strategies at his free online training on Saturday, July 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll be there too. I definitely encourage you to write that date down or just click on that link below to register. We're going to love it together. So, Alex, welcome back. Great to see you as always.
Matt, you too. Thanks so much for having me on. And that's the first time I think I've ever been called an expert. Like, I'm a business coach, advisor, consultant, but expert. I'm like, I kind of like that. That sounds good.
That's right. I think you wear it well.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm so excited. We've never done a live event before. We're totally free, totally like no sales pitch. Everybody has these like events, but it's like, is this an MLM or what's going on? But Turley and I, we've never done this before, but we've been, on this show together for about a year, like me coming on his channel and, educating you guys and having a great time. I've worked with many, many of your clients and they're amazing people, amazing patriots. And so, the event's going to be totally free, no sales pitches. And at the end of this interview, we will mention a nice little bonus if you show up for the webinar, but I'll wait on that.
To call it a bonus is an understatement. I already know what it is, and it is incredibly exciting. Wait till you guys see what Alex has got in store for you. But first, let's talk about your view of Virginia. I know you're very up on politics. You know Trump. You're part of his. You've been in Mar-a-Lago. You've been part of his international golf course and the like. Obviously, this is gigantic. I mean, if Trump keeps the race tight in Virginia, what do you think about other states that are right now just sort of on the fence with Trump?
Well, I think people, again, a lot of the liberals, they really want to hate him. They really do. They talk about democracy and all that BS, but they think about the safety of their kids. They think about the economy. They think about their future for, again, not just them, but also their family. And I think those immediate needs are going to supersede, again, a lot of these other things that are just completely made up. It's like when things are going too well in a relationship and somehow you like try to find an issue with them. You're like, there's something off with them. That's how people look at our country right now on the left. It's like things are going so well. If you look at where we're at right now versus 50 years ago, we've made 500 years of progress in, just a few decades. But people, again, when things are going too well, they want to find some issue. They want to find something wrong with it. But I think now that's starting to shift a little bit. And there's actual problems with the border and with many of the things that you talk about on the channel. And I think people are really looking at it as, hey, at the end of the day, I can go on Facebook, I can talk, and I can be popular with my liberal friends, or I can have a better life for my family and I. And so I think they're making that choice more and more.
It's so interesting that you're saying that, because this shift away from Biden is happening throughout the country. I last night on our live stream, I featured a McLaughlin series of polls that found that, and I don't know if you've even seen this, Alex, it's really cool. He found that Trump is now within the margin of error in solid blue states like Washington State, Oregon, and Jersey. This is crazy. If that gets corroborated, that's insane. Trump's going to win every single solitary swing state if that's the case. What's your take on people's sudden turn away from Biden and the Democratic Party, particularly in blue states?
Well, I think we all as Americans, when we're kids, we want to, have that mansion. We want to have the American dream. And it used to be very, very possible the old fashioned way, right? But nowadays people look at California and they're like, okay, that's one state out of 50, but we have 49 to go because look, there's no middle class in California anymore. I mean, I'm on Zillow. I just like to look at real estate, and over there for $1 million, $1.5 million, you're getting a shack in the hood with homeless people outside your door, and nothing against them, but it's like, I mean, for $1 million, you expect to have some, like, you want an HOA, you want a gate at least at your community. So it is something where people look at that and they're like, okay, I am in Vegas, right? That's gone really red the past few years. Right. They have a Republican governor. Arizona, Oregon, even Washington, they kind of see what's going on in there. In California, and they're like, I don't want to get Californianized, like I want to, again, have freedom. If they have certain social policies, they like whatever, but I think people at the end of the day, they want their housing to be available. They want their money to be good. They want to be safe, right? So I think people are trending in that direction, and they don't want to be the next California.
Yeah, we were talking before the interview, before we went on air, and you were mentioning something like a Californification of the country if we're not careful. So in other words, California is a bit of a barometer, an indicator, a forecast of what we can expect if we don't get our house in order, as it were.
Exactly. Right. And again, it's kind of over there in New York on the East Coast, but really California, with even fast food businesses that used to be amazing businesses. They have to leave the state now because the state's telling them how to run their business with how much to pay. And it's a total mess. And so again, my father lives in Vegas, and I even go there and I see that people are coming from California because it's like I can get a brand new house for $700,000 versus a shack for even $1.4 million in California. Hopefully they leave those policies where they came from, though. But I think, again, that's why you see some of these states that used to be so dominantly blue, they're becoming a little bit purple. And it's because, again, people, they look at all these other kind of made up things and they kind of keep it simple and say safety, economy, border. And I mean, we all know which one out of Biden and Trump have the best performance on those. And so that's really what they look at.
By far. Yeah. And I think what they're in effect doing, if they're moving out of California, particularly into Vegas and Nevada and so on, is they are declaring their independence from this insanity, from the bluification of our society. And that's one of the things that I have to say I love about what you do, Alex, and of course what Trump and Youngkin are exemplars of, is you help patriots discover independence. That's what you're all about: independence from woke employers. So independence from, but also independence for, independence by finding a digital freedom in a parallel economy. You've coached and mentored tons of Turley Talkers to find that kind of independence and freedom. Can you flesh that out a little bit for us, in light especially of the free training that's coming up on Saturday? Just the importance of using our insane time in which we live as a platform to get up and get out there and discover your own independence and your own path in a parallel economy.
Absolutely. Like you said, it's insane in a bad way and a great way, because I have clients who are, 40, 50, and 60. And I say that because, number one, they're in a place where maybe their job, maybe their company used to not be woke. It used to be a place where you go to a job, you get a paycheck, and you go back home, and it was a good paycheck. But if you look at prices for homes, prices for cars and gas over the last 30 years, it's gone like this. Whereas incomes, that's kind of standard, even corporate kind of white collar jobs, especially blue collar, it's gone kind of like this. And so it hasn't kept up in inflation. And so you have to look at, again, it's an insane time, but it's also, there's insane opportunities, especially online, where the online e-commerce market, people buying products on, Amazon, on websites, it's going to be in 2028 about a $1.96 trillion market in the United States. It's already a $1 trillion market worldwide. So it's growing 30, 40% a year in overall sales. But number two, I have clients who say, okay, that sounds great, Alex, but I'm too old. I missed the boat. It's too saturated. There's not enough opportunity, but it's like, there's so much growth. There's so much opportunity, because most people, they start a business maybe on their own. It's a bit of a side hustle. They start selling some products, but it's a side hustle. They don't really have the framework, they don't have the systems, and they don't have someone that can help them kind of plug and play something that works. And most entrepreneurs, they start something and they're too busy. They have the 9 to 5, they have the family, they have other things going on. So without that support system, without somebody kind of holding their hand, they kind of start, they're very excited, they hit one speed bump and then they stop. Yeah. And that's where, again, the online independence, there's so much potential for people, but that's why we're having this free webinar.
Yeah, it's the who, not how, right? It's tapping into someone who's already made all the mistakes, who can lead you
all the mistakes. And people look at the success I have now, but it's like, to get that, you know how many times I failed and I made mistakes. Well, actually, true failure is when people quit. Those like failure is usually just speed bumps. It's like, oh, I guess I should have posted that instead of this, or I should have changed this strategy. But again, that's why on the webinar, you can go and get the value and try it yourself, or we can talk after that. But that's why in the webinar, Turley and I have never done anything like this, where we've gone in depth and gone over like a system in a very kind of structured 3-step blueprint for starting this, how it's going to work, who is it for, who's it not for, and all of those different details. And so that's why I'm so excited for this event.
Yeah, let's flesh that out a little bit. And by the way, with the way you just put it, that's why you're the expert. That's why I call you an expert.
Right.
Absolutely. But I wrote it down. 10 trillion by what year? Online business are going to be almost 10 trillion. I think you said
1.96, 1.96,
oh, 1.9,
which is still, I mean, that's like half the GDP of America. So because it's growing so fast, right? Because of course, with 2020, people, they used to buy products at Walmart. They used to go to the mall and waste a Saturday buying 2 products, where they can go on Amazon, make 2 clicks and buy the same products in, a tenth of the time. And so it's so convenient. It's growing so much, and the opportunity is growing so much, but so many people don't really know how it works. Is it for them? And again, that's why we're having this event.
So bottom line, who is this event for? This event, Saturday, July 6th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Who's this event for?
It's for people who are hungry for growth, independence, and freedom, right? Because I tell people all the time, people say, oh, I'm financially free. I have a house that's paid off, or I have some 401k, but it's like, if you stop working tomorrow, your money would last you like 18 months and you want to retire for like 30 years, 25 years and enjoy it. That's financial freedom. Having a business that can run sort of on autopilot, where you set it up the right way, it grows over time. That's who this is for. Again, this is not for the person that's like, how can I start a business to then make my mortgage the next month? It's like, you need financial stability. That's a different webinar, but this is for people who are already doing pretty well. They're like, okay, I thought my 401k, I thought my game plan would get me to the point of having that financial freedom leading into retirement. But nowadays, it's simply not the case. And so again, hungry for growth, they want independence, they want freedom. And that's what this webinar is for. And so we're excited to host it.
And you've helped tons of Turley Talkers start their own online businesses. You've helped them scale. You've done amazing. We only get great feedback from your work, Alex. I think it's time you let everybody know about that little bonus that you were
just a little eensy bonus,
a little bonus that you have if they click on that link below and sign up for the free training this Saturday, July 6th at 2 p.m. Alex, what do you have in store for them?
So I want to give something for free. Again, the webinar is free. We're not selling anything on it, but I'm like, how can I take it to the next level, right? Because in my business, if I just add tremendous value, I'm in business for, instead of 8 years, I'll be in business for the next 80 years. So I'm all about adding more value than anybody else. And so, as you probably know, I'm a member at Mar-a-Lago, right? And so that's a $250,000 country club and monthly fees and all this stuff. And so I'm inviting people, one person, husband and wife or couple, on the webinar. If you come to the webinar, you stay for the entire webinar, and at the end of it, I'm going to announce one free Mar-a-Lago vacation. So you get to stay at Trump, you get to, in Palm Beach, Florida, have dinner at Mar-a-Lago. You'll probably see President Trump. It'll be this fall because Mar-a-Lago is closed right now. But that's going to be kind of my giveaway for the end of the webinar. But you got to register, you got to sign up, show up, stay for the entire webinar. And that's the little bonus. So you had the experience of playing golf at Trump International Palm Beach. And that's, I would say, a nice place compared to Mar-a-Lago. And so imagine how nice Mar-a-Lago is. And again, so many people, this is a once in a lifetime bucket list thing. You don't have, again, the webinar is free. Just sign up, register, and show up and stay for the whole thing. You'll get some value and you'll be able to possibly win this trip. And so that's the bonus.
It's amazing. And what a bonus that is. And thank you for that, Alex. We had a great time when we were at Mar-a-Lago together, meeting number 45, soon to be number 47. It was an experience I'll never forget. And gang, just click on that link below, sign up for this free training. Again, like Alex said, completely and totally free, nothing being sold at all. Just click on the link below, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, Saturday, July 6th. This is why I have experts and friends like Alex on, because, when we all get serious about bypassing big government and blue states, even blue states are more and more giving up and say, we can't do this anymore. The more we get serious about building a true parallel economy, we really win and we make America great again. So we have to focus and make the next right decision. Gang, it starts with you. Click on that link below. Join Alex's free online training. I'll be there. We'll be there together Saturday, July 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's just a small fraction of your time, and it could literally change the course of your life forever. It's awesome.
Spend 90 minutes to set up the next maybe 20 years. That's how I like to put it. When you look at it like that, it's like, how can you not show up?
Say that one more time, because that was brilliant. I love it.
Spend the next 90 minutes to set up the next 20 years of your life.
And you might even have Mar-a-Lago thrown in on that.
Exactly. That'll be on your bucket list. Again, that's probably on all of your bucket lists. And so that's why, again, I make, anytime I come on, I try to add so much value and just do things a certain way because obviously, again, that's why I'm in business, because I add so much value. And again, whether you show up to the webinar and never pay me a dime, you can still go to the webinar, get some value, maybe win the Mar-a-Lago, maybe not. But either way, it's a great way to spend your Saturday.
What a wonderful way to spend your Saturday with fellow patriots who are trying to make America great again. It's awesome. Alex, you're the best. Thanks so much, man. It's always great to see you. I'll see you on the 6th.
Yep, sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Awesome.
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online and see what happens stage.
And the site is live.
That we opened a store and need a fast checkout stage.
Thanks. You're all set.
That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And that, wait, did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Whatever your stage, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/YouTube audio.
A couple of days ago, I got a very interesting trade offer. Hello, Captain. I have come with an offer. An idea somewhere to the extent of, can I coach a 5K player to beat a 6K plus player? With you telling me what to do, while observing me play, and see how much of an MMR gap it can negate. And then there was this picture added in the message as well. I said, sure, that sounds cool. And thus, I decided to coach Gemini, a 4900 MMR player, the fight against Moja, a 5.9k player on the European ladder. And can my brilliant coaching negate the 1k MMR gap? That is the question. All right, what are we playing this game?
I'll go Blink this game.
I like that. Into what? Are you a Charge Blinker or are you a Colossus Blinker?
Colossus Blinker.
Oh, I love that for you. I'm a Colossus Blinker myself too.
Excellent.
Huge fan.
Yeah, I do like my robo stuff. I feel like I feel just more stable and just
what is
anytime I'm going mass. What's that?
What is the robo stuff? Oh, just Colossus, right?
Just robo units in general.
Okay.
I mean,
but there's nothing funky about the build order. Like it's a solid build, right?
Yeah, I mean, I copied this from Showtime, so I hope
we're buzzing already.
That's standard.
No, that's great.
Sometimes
when people, they start talking about things they like doing, and then they manage to mutilate the build beyond recognition, and then pretend like it's still a Blink build. But no, this looks good. All right.
Yeah.
Single gas. What is the timing on that barracks? It's just a standard barracks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Barracks first.
Check if he's got.
No, we don't have to check. What are we checking?
Do we need to check gas?
No, we don't know. We already know the gas by the barracks timing. If the barracks timing is it finishes 131 or so, or 130, it's a gas first. If it finishes 127, it is a barracks before gas. So we only need to check the barracks timing, always. No worries.
That's pretty good, actually. I didn't know that.
Okay. You need to piss off. Haven't seen a Marine. Could technically still be a Marine, though.
Yeah. I always do the thing where I hide it and send it back in later. Is that technically bad?
I don't know if it's technically. I just don't like it so much. She's not a huge fan.
I
Please
literally-
don't long
literally
distance mining.
found this-
Stop long distance mining this natural. Don't do
I
that.
saw Showtime do that.
Yeah, I don't really care about Showtime. That's just bad.
Okay.
It's-
fine.
it's- Up to 20
Very
workers in the main, it's better. And also, you even had
Yeah,
one
no,
guy not
I
in gas.
agree.
You even had one guy not in gas. So you're missing gas
Oh,
mining to
balls.
long distance mine with a propane or
Oh
natural.
no, you didn't see. No one saw that. No one saw that. I'm just gonna bring this guy home. Screw it.
Yeah, you forgot about him. That's okay. Okay, it's
that's fine.
probably marine into either reactor or factory. So that's our next scouting information. We want to know how many marines he has, and then we can tell the
Okay.
factory timing based on that.
Alrighty. That's actually also great information. I've never tried doing that.
3 marines. Okay, so it's reactor before factory. That means that
Oh.
it's okay. Send a second of that.
Don't
This
grab.
happens. This happens. This ping. Your second
True,
gate, I
true,
think,
it's
is
all
gonna
ping.
be late if you're not careful. Yeah.
Nice. Very good.
It's okay. Calm down. Yeah. Now all we need to figure out is whether there's SCVs downstairs for 3 racks or triple CC. So try to scout the natural SCV count. Oh, this looks very normal. So this means most likely factory. Can't afford to lose that. I would not recommend sending a stalker across the map because the Hellion can sneak by at this point. I would recommend keeping the adept there.
Okay.
And you might lose it, but I think it's good practice anyway. You need a pylon for sure.
Right, yeah.
I think battery. This is a little bit early if you're playing against someone that goes reactor into factory. I mean, it's too late now to cancel it, but you know, don't we need a pylon at some point as well, boss?
I've got it
Okay, gotcha.
in the main.
Cyclone, that's big info. Now we piss off.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Gases maybe,
Okay.
or do you take third? Do you take the third
I
base?
do third and then gases. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want me to do something
No,
else, I'll
I
just do
want
whatever
to
you
see
say.
this. First we see how you do, then we see how you do when you do something that I like. This is fine. Okay, you do have 1 stalker less though, because you got supply lock for a bit or whatever reason. Okay. I would rebuild a pylon in the main.
Oh, ping.
Ping. This is the fact that he has 15 marines and 2 cyclones into your third. I don't think you get a -5 ping here, and I don't think you're holding this. I only think there's no point in taking the third because of stuff like this. I think it's so hard.
Yeah.
But hey, it's technically possible. Now we can take the gases a minute later than I would have wanted to, but it's still fine. Get the Robo Bay maybe. So there's a couple of things we need to keep in mind there. We've seen only a single starport unit. That means there's a possibility that's just a single starport unit. There could also be a Liberator or somewhere hiding. We also kind of want to move across the map, see if we can do anything with these stalkers. If we do though, we're going to need a double stalker warp in at home. And we probably want to build a Nexus on our third base as well. Because otherwise, why are we moving out, right?
Yeah.
The reason we move out is so that he can't easily walk across to our side of the map and cancel our third base continuously. You're oversaturating your natural, and your main only has 16, so try to set that up properly. You're going to be oversaturated for quite a while, so it's better to do that well than not do it. Now that you have map control, also would be wise to probably start spreading some pylons around. I mean, you're here anyway. Might as well spread some pylons for extra vision, get charge going, maybe 1 or 2 extra gateways, because you're going to be floating quite a bit of cash. And I like the thought of having thermal lens at some point in the future as well. Can we get some info with the observer too?
Third.
Okay. He probably was floating cash, because that doesn't make too much sense. Is there a possibility for us to jump into the main or no?
Yeah, we can try it.
Okay, you're showing. That was a mistake. You already knew what was there. Showing made him respond. I still think you can go into the main. There's no tank. Long distance mine. Battery there is good. Get a forge and
So
maybe
I'm
1
going to
sentry.
keep this
And start
video
warping in some
simple
zealots as well.
as I possibly can.
That sucks,
I've
but it's
actually
okay.
worked with ChatGPT
Um,
and Bard.
Send 1 stalker
to
towards
figure out
his
how to
line base,
explain
so
what
you
I
see
have
if
found in
something
these
goes over there.
elections in a manner that doesn't. Not saying anything at the moment, Shadow. I'm just collecting all of these fucking papers from over the This is only like 1/4 of the papers I've written on Nevada, or content. I put like 2 videos in here. This is just like the tip of the iceberg, right? I could sit here and cite things. I have all the fucking expert disclosures and all this fucking shit in the court cases like we've already had. So I'm establishing that Nevada has a history of this.
For the fledgling Biden campaign, there's actually some good news and some not so good news. Well, let's start with the good news, all right? Biden is now officially leading in a swing state. It's true, for the first time in months, Biden has taken the lead in the polling aggregate
I'll be right back.
in a battleground state. For the fledgling
Y'all just tell me who the nominee is going to be. Let me know when you guys are finished fighting amongst yourselves who I got to vote for in November to keep Hitler out the White House. That's all I want to know. Who I got to vote for to keep Hitler out the White House. Y'all do your thing. Play in traffic all you want in front of these Republicans, acting a fool in front of these people instead of privately declaring your stuff. But don't text me no more, because I'm not taking no more of these texts. Just let me know when you guys are finished figuring it out, Democrats, because I know y'all the freak out people. Go ahead and freak out, have your conversation, and then let me know who I got to vote for to keep Hitler out the White House. That's it. I'm done. Oh, and by the way, if it's Biden in a coma, I'm going to vote for Biden in a coma. I don't even really particularly like the guy. A lot of his policies, don't like him. He's not Donald Trump, right? Yeah. Hitler, White House. We keeping him out. Keeping Project 2025 out. That's all I care about. Up and down the ballot, from the rooter to the tutor. School board, all the way up to White House and everything in between. Governors, members of Congress. I'm just going to vote all the way down to keep these people out. The Project 2025 thing is the whole Republican Party. At this point, it's not about Biden. It is not about him. It's above me now. There's a Best Western next door. It is about keeping Donald Trump and his Project 2025 friends out of power. That's it for me, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think.
I think you should be institutionalized in a padded room, strapped around with a straitjacket. I mean, gang, they are literally melting down. The Democrats are in a full-blown panic. They don't even know who their nominee is. The fallout from the debate is so bad. We're literally just 100 days out from the election. They can't even agree as to who their nominee is. We're going to look at the latest Democrat civil war that's erupted within their ranks over the collapsing Biden campaign. And we're going to see the latest on the political earthquake that just rocked Great Britain. A new world is rising, gang. A new conservative age is rising, and we've got a front row seat. Greetings, everyone. It is Live Stream Friday. I'm your host, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times, or we're saying increasingly these senile times. So whatever you do, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe on a blessed Independence weekend to all of you. You want to highlight from yesterday, by the way, take a look at this. These are scenes coming out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where the local officials banned crosses from being displayed at their 4th of July parade. And so what do patriots in Coeur d'Alene do? Of course, they fill the parade with crosses. That's what patriots do. They stand up to tyrants. So bravo to the courageous patriots over at Coeur d'Alene. God bless you guys. We're live on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, you name it. We got a jam-packed show here for you today, and I mean jam-packed. We're going to get right into the analysis of what appears to be the complete collapse of the Biden campaign, as well as the astonishing surge of Nigel Farage and the Reform Party in the UK. Remember, as always, not as always, as many of you know, our super chats have been completely disabled because we've been totally demonetized by YouTube. So if you want to ask me your questions today on the show, I'll answer them. I'll be happy to. All you got to do is just click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com. That's fight.turleytalks.com. Sign up for any level of support you like. You'll have instant access to our own private virtual platform where you can ask me your questions, and I'll be happy to answer them right here on this live stream. So just click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com. Sign up for any level of support that works for you, and I'll answer your questions on this live stream. Also, do not forget to click on that link below and RSVP for our very special online call to arms event on July 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's an online event where we're going to be getting into practical action plans for what you can do right now to make sure that we win massively, and I mean massively, in November. We simply can't be complacent, right? We all know that. And so we need to have clear, actionable steps to take right now in order to make sure that November is too big to rig. So don't wait. I just got word that the Wisconsin Supreme Court, the liberal Wisconsin Supreme Court, remember they had an open seat for their Supreme Court and a Democrat won it. They just overturned the ban on ballot drop boxes in Wisconsin. It just broke within the last hour. They just overturned that ban. We need to get organized, and that's exactly what this upcoming what do we want to call it? Online. I'm having a Biden moment. An online call to arms event is all about. We beat Medicare. So don't wait. Click on that link below. It's a completely free event, but our virtual seats are filling up fast. Also, I've got a wonderful free gift for you. Now, originally, this free gift was for the first 500 of you that RSVP'd. Gang, well, just to put it bluntly, you gobbled it up. The first 500 RSVP literally hours after our live stream announcing our call to arms event ended. But I want you to have this. So we're giving it away free to another first 500, okay? All right, don't get mad at me. First 500, we're going to have another first 500. So be one of the next 500 to RSVP for this free online event on Thursday, July the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Just click on that link below to RSVP, and I'm going to send you this free gift. It's our Courageous Conservatives kit. And this is wonderful. The first part of the kit is my blueprint I've used to build my own parallel economy for my family, my local community. I've summarized some of the ways that I've done this in a guide called Building Your Own Patriot Ecosystem. So this is going to help you get a sense of what to do in the weeks and months ahead. So these are very, very practical action items that you can take right now to help build a society of faith, family, and freedom. And then in addition to that, I'm also giving you my fake news antidote. And that's my own personal list of websites and resources that I go to daily to do my own research and get real news as opposed to all the fake news that's out there. So you're going to absolutely love this Courageous Conservatives kit. It's going to prepare you for this call to arms event so you can take action now and realize your own unique role in making history here. So click on that link below. Don't wait. Click on that link below, RSVP, so we can all learn what we need to do now to make sure we win massively in November. There really is no two ways of putting this, gang. The Democrats are today in a total and complete meltdown. The Biden campaign, as we speak, is in shambles. Again, you have to let this hit you. We are now just over 100 days away from Election Day, November 5th. We're just over 100 days away. And Donald Trump still does not know who he's running against. He doesn't care. He'll crush whoever they eventually put up against him. But you need to let that hit you in terms of the state of the race as we speak right now. If you want to know the state of the Biden campaign right now as we speak post-debate, the Democrats, after every single primary has ended in all 50 states, the Democrats cannot agree as to who their nominee ought to be. That's how bad the Biden campaign is imploded. This is a campaign that has already run tens of millions of dollars of TV ads in battleground states. I know. I see them every night in Pennsylvania. This is a campaign that has already assumed the Democrat mantle for 2024 with all the primaries concluded. That campaign that spent already tens of millions of dollars, that's already amassed all the delegates needed for the nomination. That campaign, right now as we speak, is in total disarray. As Trump is raking in literally hundreds of millions of dollars per month. as Trump's campaign and polling, ours we'll see in a mere moment, as his campaign and polling are surging, as he's actually in the process of expanding the electoral map. There are now officially 10 swing states as we speak. As Trump is busy doing all that, Biden's campaign is in complete chaos. Don't take my word for it. Here is Van Jones on CNN saying the quiet part and panicked part out loud.
I'm just going to be honest. I mean, everybody comes on the air and says all this great stuff, but behind the scenes, it's full-scale panic. People are passing around legal memos, PDFs are flying back and forth on WhatsApp, trying to figure out what are the options, how can you replace Biden, how do you get him to do it in a way where he feels respected as he should be respected, who should Kamala Harris's vice president be. The conversation on air and the conversation off air are completely different. And so it's the same thing you saw with the Trump situation, where people would come on air and defend Trump, and then you talk to people, and we got a crazy candidate. We don't have a crazy candidate. We have a great candidate. We have a beautiful man. We have someone who loves this country. We have someone who has given his all, I mean his all to the last drop for this country, but he may not be able to get across the finish line. And a mature party has to take that into account, and that is what's happening. And so, look, I understand people want to, defend him and protect him and give him the space and the dignity to make his own choice. But there is a big conversation happening right now about how this happens, not whether.
You heard him. You heard him say it behind the scenes. There is full-scale panic. Again, ignore the pathetic pandering to Biden and Biden voters. He's a beautiful man. What a beautiful man. Ooh. You heard it yourself. Behind the scenes, there is full-scale panic. This is the same guy who said it's not panic, it's pain. Remember on Thursday night, the night of the debate. This is it. We're not talking panic. This is pain. This is going beyond panic. This is physically hurting. And this is coming from CNN. They're not even hiding it anymore. I mean, you just have to let that hit you. CNN and the Democrats are now openly admitting not only that there is a full-scale panic behind the scenes, but that the powers that be are doing everything they possibly can. He called it, we're a mature party. We have to do this, whatever the hell that means. The powers that be in the Democratic Party are doing everything they can right now to get rid of Biden. They want him out. Because as I'm sure we've all seen, things have only gone from bad to worse since the debate. If you thought that debate was bad, how about Biden now claiming that he is the first female black president? I kid you not. Roll it.
Well, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman, served with a black president. I'm proud of the first black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States of America.
Look, Jack, this is the United States of America, and I am so proud to be the first black woman president. I mean, if you can believe it, the freaks over at the AP are actually still doubling down on this insanity. I kid you now, admittedly, they're one of the last ones. Virtually all the other legacy media outlets have abandoned Biden at this point. But the AP has taken gaslighting to a whole new level with this unbelievable headline. Here it is. If you're listening by way of our 20 million podcast downloads, here it is. Biden at 81. Sharp and focused, but sometimes confused and forgetful. Biden, 81, sharp and focused, but yeah, admittedly, sometimes confused and forgetful. I mean, what do you even begin to say to that? I mean, can you think of it this way? Think of it this way. Can you imagine these freaks at the AP, these left-wing activists disguised as journalists? Can you imagine them doing something comparable? This comparable gaslighting gymnastics for Trump? I mean, this is just, it's beyond cringe. It's beyond embarrassing. Guys, seriously, at the AP, seriously, read the room. No one's buying this anymore. Read the room. Here's the latest post-debate polling. If you haven't seen it, this just dropped from Remington Research Group. It's of the battleground states. I mean, this is, if you're Team Biden, I mean, it doesn't get worse than this. Wisconsin, Trump is now up 6. I mean, Trump is just pulling away with it here. He's up 6. Okay, that's too big to rig at this point. He's up 6 in Wisconsin. He's up 5 in Pennsylvania. He keeps going up and up in Pennsylvania. It's stunning. He's up 3 in Michigan. He's up an insurmountable 7 in Arizona. It's getting to be his biggest lead yet. Biden has not led Arizona in literally years now. Trump is up 7 in Nevada. It looks certain that he's going to win. He's going to be the first Republican to win Nevada in 20 years, since 2004. And for some odd reason, they put Texas, Ohio, and Montana on there. I don't quite know why, because, I mean, there's no conceivable universe where Biden wins those 3 states. Trump's got a double-digit lead. I mean, in Montana, it's over 20 points. But now, this Remington Research poll obviously comes on the heels of another poll that we covered just a couple of days back. That was a confidential memo that was leaked out by some disgruntled Democrat. It was leaked out to Puck News, and it revealed the findings of a brand new poll conducted by a Democrat data firm called Open Labs, and it was conducted in the 72 hours after that disastrous debate on Thursday night. Again, if you don't know, both campaigns, Biden and Trump campaigns, they spend tens of millions of dollars on polling. So their polls, their internal polls, which are supposed to be secret, they tend, because you don't want the other side to know what you're finding out. I mean, this is basically intelligence gathering. It's reconnaissance, right? Recon, right? If you want to know where to effectively spend your tens, or if not hundreds of millions of dollars, you got to have reliable polling. So somebody leaked out this poll, this internal poll within the Biden campaign, taken over the course of 72 hours after the debate. And the results were literally jaw-dropping. Take a look at this. According to the Democrats' own polling, Trump is crushing Biden in North Carolina by 11. But he's crushing Biden in all 10 contested states right now. I mean, just go down the list. It's stunning. In Virginia, New Mexico, New Hampshire, they're now contested. These are solid blue. I'm getting ahead of myself. Trump is crushing Biden in North Carolina by 11. He's crushing him in Georgia and Arizona by 10. He's crushing him by 9 in Nevada. That tends to overlap with the previous poll that we just saw from Remington. He's up 7 in Pennsylvania. He's up 7 in Michigan. He's up 4 in Wisconsin. He's up 3 in New Hampshire. He's up 0.6 in Virginia and up 0.5 in New Mexico. And to add insult to injury, Biden's lead in Minnesota and Colorado are within the margin of error. Gang, seriously, this is insane. And if the Democrats think running Kamala is going to save them, they just got smacked in the face with a serious dose of reality. The Daily Mail poll that just dropped, it's got Trump up 5 over Biden nationally, but Trump is up by double digits over Cackles Kamala. He's up by 11. So if they run Cackles Kamala, I mean, that is going to translate into a Reagan-like 1980 landslide, okay? I mean, 11 points. And by the way, this pollster who did it for the JL Partners, who did it for Daily Mail, does tend to have a history of underestimating Republican turnout. So this polling could be even worse than that. At the same time, Trump is pulling away with a couple of major Democrat demographics. In the latest New York Times poll, Trump is winning, now officially, the Latino vote. He's winning it by 6 points. He is now officially winning. He's winning overall by 6 points. He's winning the Latino vote by 9 points, 50 to 41. And again, keep in mind, Biden won Hispanics by 30 points in 2020. I mean, this is astonishing. He won it with 65% of the vote. 32% went for Trump. I mean, you're seeing a 30-point swing over to Trump at this point. And keep in mind, Biden beat Trump. He beat Trump by 11 among voters under 30. Now Trump is leading with voters under 30, 48 to 40. This is just, I'm serious. I look at these numbers and I'm almost hesitant to say them because they're so utterly devastating for Biden. We knew it was going to happen. We predicted it. We predicted 1 week ago today in our live stream Friday after that debate debacle. We predicted the polls were going to be coming out over the course of this week, and they were guaranteed to be devastating to Biden. The Democrats' surrogates over at Politico. Politico is just basically a mouthpiece for the Democrat Party at this point. They're freaking out. I mean, they're literally freaking out. They're looking at the polls and they're just simply saying there's no sign these polls have bottomed out. They just keep going down and down and down. Biden's approval rating now on average is plunging into the low 30s. He may hit the high 20s. No president in the history of approval ratings has ever come close to winning re-election with numbers stuck in the 30s. Nevertheless, the rank and file Democrat voter out there wants Biden to stay. The primaries are over. Democrats overwhelmingly voted for Biden to be their nominee in a rigged primary. And despite the panic that's setting in with the Democrat operatives and leadership that we're hearing about from Van Jones on CNN, the rank and file Democrats want Biden to stay. Take a look.
A growing number of voters want President Biden to drop out of the race after his poor showing at last week's debate. This is coming from new numbers out this morning in a CBS News poll. How does this all add, though, to the overall picture of what Biden is up against at this moment, and can he make it through? CNN's Harry Enten is here, and he's been looking at that. Adding it all together in your own analysis of what you're looking at, how are Democrats feeling from the numbers available about Biden right now?
Yeah, people forgot to tell Democrats, if folks want Joe Biden to drop out, they forgot to tell Democratic voters that he should drop out, all right? So this is a Reuters Ipsos poll that was out in the last 24 hours. Should Joe Biden leave the presidential race after the debate? Look, overall, yeah, the majority of Americans, 56%, say, yeah, he should leave the race. But look among Democrats. This is Joe Biden's base. This is why he is the president. They nominated him back in 2020. They nominated him again in 2024. 66% of Democrats say no, he should not leave the race. And of course, it's going to be these Democratic voters who put the pressure on their members of Congress, their governors, the elected officials, party actors to try and get Biden to leave. At this particular point, though, the Democratic activists are not necessarily going to put the pressure on Joe Biden because the fact of the matter is most Democratic voters, 2/3 of them, want Joe Biden to stay in this race. They don't want him to quit, Kate.
So there you go. 2/3 of Democrats want Biden to stay. That's why he's staying. There's no way around that at this point. That's why he's staying. He's got the voters behind him. Even though he's experiencing a polling free fall, Democrats overwhelmingly 2/3 want him to stay. And that stubbornness among Democrat voters is putting them on a direct collision course with Democrat donors and editorial boards. We got a full-blown civil war erupting here, gang, within the Democratic Party. Butter the popcorn. This is going to be glorious. But first, gang, if you are just joining us, if you want to ask me your questions because YouTube has suspended our super chats, just click on that link below. Join any one of our levels of support, and you have access to our own virtual platform where you can ask me all of your questions. I'll be happy to answer them on this live stream. So just click on that link below. Go to fight.turleytalks.com. Sign up for any level of support, and then you can ask me your questions. I'll be happy to answer them right here, right now. Also, as you know, it is springtime, and the bees are out buzzing, but they're doing a lot more than just pollinating. Now bees are saving America from the woke wave of leftist culture that's trying to wipe out all that's good and true and beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, Turley Talks is teaming up with Make Honey Great Again to bring you something truly spectacular, MAGA honey. You are going to love this. This is awesome. You can now get a 16-ounce bottle of pure, raw, sweet, delicious Ultra MAGA honey packaged in a bottle that looks like our great president, Donald Trump. This untouched raw honey comes straight from 11,000 hives in South Carolina. And gang, I am telling you, honey never tasted as good as it does coming from a Trump-inspired bottle. Trust me. So what are you waiting for, gang? Click on that link below or visit MakeHoneyGreatAgain.com. Use promo code Turley to show your support. We can make honey and America great again. Click on that link below right now. Man, I love natural honey. All natural. It's just... You're gonna love it. All right. So even though Democrat voters overwhelmingly want Biden to stay, the calls among the Democrat ruling elite for Biden to step down are escalating beyond belief. We've now got a Disney heiress threatening to withhold all high-ticket donations until Biden steps down. This is a threat from Abigail Disney, the granddaughter of Roy Disney, one of the two original co-founders of the Walt Disney Company. She has confirmed that she is indeed trying to pressure Biden to drop out of the race by withholding her mega millions from the party as a whole until they dump him. And she's encouraging other mega donors to follow her lead, which reports are more and more of them are doing. The mega donor class is basically trying to starve the Democrat Party into dropping Biden. The Economist is now joining the growing chorus of dishonest, duplicitous media outlets calling on Biden to withdraw from the race. Keep in mind, these are the same people that were supporting him when he was hiding in his basement just 20 minutes away from here. One of Biden's most sincere and ardent supporters over the last 3.5 years has been the liberals over at The Economist. But now, for the good of the nation, it's time for Biden to go, even though they're Brits, by the way. The Economist is a British publication. Here's what they said, quote, "The presidential debate was awful for Joe Biden, but the cover-up has been worse. The dishonesty of his campaign provokes contempt. He must withdraw." You know what provokes contempt, you lying scumbags over at The Economist? You know what provokes contempt? It's the fact that you knew this guy was cognitively declining. You knew it. You've known it for years, but you didn't give a rat's ass over it. That is what's provoking contempt for me. You are the self-proclaimed guardians of liberal globalism. You at The Economist are the dedicated defenders of the liberal international order, and you saw Trump as an existential threat to that order, and you deliberately backed a frazzled, dilapidated, demented man so as to shamelessly try to preserve that comparably frazzled, dilapidated, demented world order. And now that your lies have been exposed for all to see, what are you doing? You're doubling down on deceit. You're doubling down on deceit. You're blaming a cover-up. You're the effing cover-up, dudes. And now what are you doing? In the midst of being that cover-up exposed, now what are you doing? You're openly doubling down on thwarting the will of Democrat voters who overwhelmingly want Biden to remain as their nominee. You literally can't make this shit up. I mean, I want this to sink in. The leaders of the party who are claiming that Trump and his supporters are the threat to democracy are the very ones who are trying to deliberately disenfranchise 66%, a supermajority of their voters. These party leaders, these legacy media outlet liars, are openly trying to thwart what 2/3 of their party want. And they call us a threat to democracy. Talk about projection. And it gets even worse. Given that Biden is showing no signs of stepping down since he has 66% of his party behind him, now the 25th Amendment is openly being talked about. I kid you not. It just gets better and better. As far as Democrat insiders are concerned, if Biden won't step down, they're thinking of invoking the 25th Amendment to make him step down. Again, just taking a couple of steps back here, gang, this debate, I think we're safe to say at this point, this debate will go down in history as it is the single worst presidential debate ever in the history of our republic. Remember, we talked about this with Rich Barris just the other day. Generally speaking, presidential debates don't matter. Okay, there were two debates that were very consequential. 1960, the Nixon-Kennedy debate, when that was the first televised debate, and Kennedy was your first televised president, really, in that sense. So you had the 1960 debate, Nixon-Kennedy, and you had the 1980 debate, the Reagan-Carter debate. That was their sole debate. I think it was just a week before the elections. And just Reagan did it, man. He sold it. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? It was the most brilliant question. It got tens of millions of people to say, no, we're not. And so they voted for Reagan. So those were generally agreed upon. Those are your two very consequential debates that impacted what happened in November in each of their respective years. This debate, the one we just all witnessed a week ago, that looks like it's putting those two debates to shame in terms of just how utterly consequential it was for the upcoming November election. I mean, seriously, gang. Seriously. I'll say it again. We are just over 100 days away from this election, and Donald Trump still does not know who his opponent is. You just have to let that hit you. If you want to really get a sense of just how bad things are for Biden and the Democrats right now, we're just 100 or so days away from the election, and they don't even know who their nominee is. Yes, it's presumptively Biden. He has all the delegates that are legally bound to him, by the way, keep in mind. You can't just arbitrarily, hand those delegates off to someone else that voters did not vote for. Yes, Biden has all the delegates, but he doesn't have the donors anymore. He doesn't have the editorial boards anymore. He doesn't have the Democrat political class anymore. They've largely abandoned him. We just saw it the other day. Biden is trying to find a via media in all of this. So he just met with a number of Democrat governors in the hopes of shoring up their support as his campaign is just in a free fall, complete collapse. And frankly, it just got worse. We now know two embarrassing details that got leaked out of that meeting with the 20 Democrat governors. Of course, again, they all came out, so we're 100% behind Joe. Absolutely, he's got our support. But then they're leaking two utterly embarrassing details. First, Biden admitted to them he needed more sleep. He needed to do less work, cut down on events after 8 p.m. He literally said that. He needs to nap more, and he needs to cut off all events after 8 p.m. Don't worry about me, guys. I just need to work less and sleep more. Hit the sack around 8 p.m. So that's the first embarrassing leak. The second was the revelation of a secret doctor's visit, which was only disclosed because of this meeting. Karine Jean-Pierre, the borderline illiterate, who's the diversity hires White House spokesperson, she denied before that leak, she denied that Biden had seen a doctor. We now know he did. And Biden told the governors, don't worry, my health is fine. It's just my brain that has a problem. Now, Democrat staffers are trying to pass that remark off as a joke. Don't worry, the president's fine. It's just his brain. He was just joking, I promise. But literally everyone is like, dude, that ain't funny. I mean, there's nothing trivial about the fact that we all know. I mean, editorial boards included, that you're in obvious cognitive decline. So the governor's meeting was yet another disaster in a whole litany of disasters that began with last Thursday night. At the same time, the Trump campaign just dropped their latest ad on Independence Day. Gang, take a look at this.
Together, we are part of one of the greatest stories ever told, the story of America. It is the epic tale of a great nation whose people have risked everything for what they know is right and what they know is true. On this day, 243 years ago, our founding fathers pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to declare independence and defend our God-given rights. Because we will never forget that we are Americans and the future belongs to us. The spirit of American independence will never fade, never fail, but will reign forever and ever and ever. To every citizen throughout our land, have a glorious Independence Day. Have a great 4th of July.
Oh, man. Yeah, Nevada definitely has a history, Susan. It has a 4, 5, 6,000 page documented history. Not including hundreds of pages of diagrams and several hours worth of video, if not over 24. It's amazing. Oh, if you take my streams into account, it has thousands of hours on video. Oh my god. I'm just gonna kill Noobs real quick. I'm waiting for some food to come out. I don't want to talk about Trump versus Biden for too long on a paper on a 2024 school board election. Okay? So we're just going to get this out of the way as fast as possible. I'm going to try and save as much, because I only want to dedicate like one line to this, you know what I mean? I do, however, have to mention it somewhat. So they're not saying I'm pulling this out of my ass. Like, this has been going on for a really long time.
Mutation complete. Mutation complete.
Oh, you don't have one.
We require more minerals. more minerals. We require more minerals. We require more minerals. We require more minerals. We require more minerals.
Alright, we killed some noobs. Let me go to the gas station and then we'll get started. I don't know. Do I have any money? I might. Hold on. Did I get paid yet? Hold on, guys. Can't go to the fucking gas station when I'm broke. Just give me a second. Alright, hold on, guys. I have to fucking... I'll be right back. I'm having a problem with my bank right now. I'll be back in like an hour. I'm gonna